You've analyzed Porter's 5 forces, and you've used that information to perform your SWOT analysis. You've paused and garnered your energy and resources, and now it's time to plan your action. You're now at the point that's so crucial to forming a sustainable venture, which is developing your strategic position. Because there are always trade-offs in how you allocate your resources, you can never be everything to everyone. Instead, you have to create a defensible position with a clear focus and consistent vision. Hopefully, when working through your SWOT, your position will start becoming clear. In particular, you want to make sure your position utilizes the competitive strengths your venture already has. If Apple has a strength due to its brand recognition, its strategy should utilize this strength. Next, you want to make sure your strategy avoids areas in which you have a strategic weakness, or make sure to incorporate activities to shore up your weaknesses. We'll talk more about strategic activities in our next module, but for now, you need to make sure your strategy doesn't expose a weakness. If, for instance, you don't have bargaining power with your suppliers, implementing a low-cost strategy would leave you extremely vulnerable. As your strategy should guide your business activities, you also need to develop your longer-term strategic identity. You need to focus on your strategic opportunities and anticipate the shifts in the underlying forces that you can exploit. You'll also need to pay particular attention to strategic threats and plan a series of moves to minimize the risk of these threats. By using your SWOT analysis, you should be able to come up with a strategy that's focused, defendable, and most importantly, consistent. All of this thinking should culminate in a set of strategic initiatives, no more than 4, that provide laser focus for your enterprise and create a roadmap for the specific activities you will undertake and that we will discuss in much greater detail in the next module. You should also discuss a means of monitoring each one of these initiatives to determine how you are performing over time. This will also be the case with the specific activities you undertake to implement the initiatives. As an example, consider IKEA, the furniture store. They are actually much more than a store, since they also design and manufacture their own furniture and understand that a visit to IKEA is a recreational experience and not just a buying opportunity. IKEA also understands its customers and caters to them. Focusing on and considering an innovative approach to the furniture business couldn't work if they didn't fire certain customers. That's the approach the company chose to take. Their target market is young professionals who demand style but at reasonable prices. To cater to these customers, IKEA keeps costs low by having only a few employees on the floor, thus allowing the customer to browse. To cater to their sense of fashion, IKEA designs its own furniture, and stores are very large so as to accommodate different fashion tastes. The flow of the stores forces customers to see all of the options IKEA offers, and there are features in the stores such as coffee shops and nurseries that augment the generic product, making IKEA a total experience and not just a big box retailer. The key to IKEA's success is that their strategy has allowed them to carve out a defendable niche. In order to compete against their sense of fashion, low-cost competitors would have to invest in design and marketing, which would undermine their low-cost strategy. Higher-end furniture stores would have to sacrifice on quality and in-store expertise in order to match IKEA's prices, which would make them lose their core customers. IKEA is also protected against a firm that tries to match its strategy due to its strong brand recognition, making it hard for a potential entrant to sell sufficient volume to achieve economies of scale. IKEA is a perfect example of a firm with a consistent strategy that's allowed it to have a highly successful, sustainable business for decades. Note, What's made IKEA successful is that everything it does fits together into a highly defensible, competitive position. It doesn't grow by appealing to customers outside their target market or by locating in higher-priced urban settings or shopping centers. IKEA chooses who they will sell to through strategic planning. Think about any long-term successful company you know of. I bet they either do one thing and do it well, or they've mastered the art of changing strategic positions as industry forces require it. Before you start your venture, make sure you've paused and thought through your strategic position. This takes time and energy, but without it, you'll be strategically exposed and will have a very short-lived existence. By mastering the art of strategy, you'll be able to develop a plan that makes it hard for future competitors to compete. You'll be on the high ground, toward the top of the mountain looking down, clearly the best position for creating a sustainable enterprise of any kind.